There's a cat fight going on over there. Hi guys, it's Christy with Pearl and Alex, and today I am doing the second episode in my 2021 Spring Wardrobe Refresh series. Today I'm focusing on accessories and specifically on jewelry. If you haven't checked out the first episode, it's just a quick intro into how I'm doing my refresh, my sizes, and my personal style. So when you watch the first episode, you'll know I do have a capsule wardrobe, so I don't have a lot of clothes or shoes or purses. But jewelry is one place where I really indulge myself. And I created a Pinterest board. I will have that linked below as well so you can have a look at it. Let's get into it. Here's a quick look at my current jewelry collection. I have a little bit of vintage, some new, some old. I worked at a jewelry store for about 5 years, and then I also sold Premier jewelry for a little bit, so I've got a little bit of everything in here. This was the inspiration for my first piece, and I have this linked below. I'm not sponsored by any of these people or anything like that. I just took my inspiration from them, and they all have really gorgeous things on their website, so make sure and check those out. So I have these two pairs of earrings. The silver pair there was from the thrift store, and the gold pair up top is from Dollar General. I used some smaller beads from this broken necklace and attached them to the earrings with permanent glue from the Dollar Tree. It is Super Glue brand. And there just really wasn't a lot of room to attach the pearls. So I don't think I'll be wearing these earrings very often. I don't think that the pearls are going to stay on very well, but it was worth a try. While I was looking for inspiration, I saw a bunch of necklaces that were pearls on one side and something else on the other. Sometimes it was an elegant chain, sometimes it was a boho necklace, and I decided to go boho. So I had this pre-layered necklace, and I took off the piece that I liked the most, and then I took this plastic pearl set that I had from the thrift store and shortened it up. And just using the hardware that both necklaces, both of the original necklaces came with, I attached them both together and used a toggle clasp for the closure. I have been hearing about the Paperclip necklaces for a while and had not been interested at all because I thought they would be like this, kind of tacky. But they are much more elegant than I thought they would be. And I did find this chain at the thrift store. It was just $4. And all I had to do was shorten it up. I used the closure that I'd already had, and I do have a bunch left over for future projects. I wanted a new layering piece to go with the Paperclip necklace, so I scavenged this chain from a piece that you'll see here later on, and just attached a charm that I had in my broken jewelry stash with a jump ring, and it was perfect and beautiful, and I get to reuse a really pretty piece of jewelry. My next piece was inspired by this piece on the left, and I am in love with this jewelry. You have to check out their website. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I did start with this chain from the thrift store. It was very similar. It was the right length. I didn't really need to do a whole lot to it. I just went through my broken jewelry stash and charms and things that didn't have chains anymore and found 5 of them that I liked and attached them to the necklace with jump rings. Now the jump rings I used here were silver, and I was a little worried about that, but once you have the necklace on, you really don't notice it. Now, if you don't have a big box of broken jewelry and abandoned necklace charms like I do, you could use pieces of hardware, buttons, even coins would look really pretty on this. This was the inspiration for my next piece. It is a Roswy necklace, and this is where we'll be using that charm from the chain we scavenged earlier. I found this set of glass pearls at the thrift store, and I cut them down and removed a few little pearls and then attached a jump ring. I took the pearls and then threaded them through the gold ring here, and then used the jump ring to attach them back to themselves. I couldn't see what was on the free end in the picture I had on Pinterest, so I ended up putting this charm that I had in my stash. It looks a little like an opal. Now, I'm not sure I'm 100% in love with it, but it works for now, and it is very pretty. Inspiration for my next piece came from this Etsy shop. These earrings look like they have maybe an old tile or an old piece of pottery on them, but I didn't have anything like that, so what I used instead was scrapbook paper. This set of cardstock sheets had these nice metallic strips on them, so I took those. Then I cut a piece of the damask paper that was the same size as the metallic strip. I used these simple hoops from the thrift store as my base, and I measured the papers against them to see how far up I wanted the pattern to go and cut them down accordingly. I used this permanent glue from Dollar Tree to sandwich the earring between the two papers, and I should have used a glue with a quicker bond like hot glue. These papers did not want to stick to each other or to the earring, they just wanted to stick to me. But I did finally get them on there and then attach them with these little clamps that I got from Dollar Tree and let them sit overnight to dry completely. The next step was to take some hot glue and fill in any little gaps or cracks between the paper. I let the hot glue sit just a second so it's not too hot, and then smoothed it down with my finger. And then I took my little detail scissors from Dollar Tree and cleaned up the edges. I took this clear nail polish top coat and sealed the paper, and I did forget to film this, but I did take some gold nail polish that I had and just freshened up the gold on the earrings, painted the metal and the bottom piece of paper, so everything was very cohesive and looked really good, and these could not have turned out prettier. This was my next inspiration piece, and mainly that jeweled chain link there. I found these links at Walmart for $1.77, and I do wish that I would have gotten one that was a little bigger, but these worked. And then I found the jewels at Michael's. They had all different kinds. I did have to cut these down into single rows to put them on there. I tried with the double rows and triple rows, and it just didn't work very well. So what I did was I unscrewed the latch completely, so I made sure that the jewels would not be in the way of it opening or closing. And then I worked in sections and spread a thin layer of this glue from the Dollar Tree and then wrapped the jewels around it. These jewels did have a sticky back, but it wasn't very sticky, and I just wanted to make sure that they would stay secure. And this was a pretty frustrating process because of course that sticky back wanted to stick to itself and to my fingers and not to the link. I used the same method on the closure. I worked in sections, spread a thin layer of glue, attached the beads, and then cut them off. My final step was to use the same clear nail polish top coat to coat these, and that will hopefully keep the sticky backs from collecting every piece of dust in the house. And here's a quick look at the first one I made just to try it out and see how it would look. Here is the final reveal of all of the pieces. I really hope you guys try this out. These turned out so pretty. Make sure you leave any questions you have in the comments and do all the things like subscribe, etc., etc. Thank you so much for watching.